Good evening from InvestSharp.com. This is Randy Smoto with your Wednesday, December the 1st market update. Of course, we had a huge market melt up today. Had a great rally on the back of some good China PMI data and, of course, good data here at home. So the dollar was down today. Gold was mostly flat. Silver, copper, and oil were up. Light sweet crude futures were up $2.64 to settle at $86.75 a barrel. So taking a look at the dollar ETF, UUP, we did have a run into some resistance here, and so far it's held. It's pulled back a little bit. Wasn't a whole lot of selling in the dollar though today. Over to the West Texas Intermediate Crude point and figure chart. This is a continuous contract. Got a bullish price active 105. Looks like we're in kind of a triangle here, so we're still in it, but it looks looking good. Still on a buy signal. Over to the Dow. So Dow closed up 249 points today to 11,255, up 2.27%. The Dow actually did have the largest percent gain on the day, and actually the Nasdaq was the weakest for the third day in a row. Of course, the other days they were down, but it was still had the smallest gain. It was still up 2.05% on the Nasdaq. But so the Dow broke out, finally got through this 11,200. Been some major resistance here. Took out the downtrend line, looking good. S&P, same thing, took out the 1200 that we've been hitting against here a little bit. Also has taken out this downtrend line, also looking good. And Nasdaq. Nasdaq actually has taken out the downtrend line. Looks like it's in a little bit of a triangle here that it broke out of today. And MACD just barely turned back up here on the Nasdaq. Volume was pretty good if you look at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the Diamonds, DIA. The volume was about 10 to 50% above average daily volume, so it's pretty decent volume today. Take a look at gold, look at GLD, just kind of resting here. You know, had a pop up yesterday, gapped up, kind of resting. Still looks fine. Silver moving a little bit higher. Had pretty neutral day. It's a little spinning top, pretty neutral, equal buying and selling. At copper via the JJC ETF. Copper moving much higher today. Lots of buying there. Of course, it helped propel FCX higher. And let's see, the Euro FXE, the Euro ETF. Lots of buying in the Euro, probably mostly short covering, but it did get a nice pop back up, and kind of interesting because it had this kind of a tombstone doji, which doesn't mean a whole lot unless it's usually in an uptrend, but I don't know, kind of stopped its fall, but we'll see how the euro does here. It might come up and retest where it broke down somewhere up in here and then come back, but I'd be surprised if the euro can continue higher too much from here. I would expect to have a little bit weak euro, probably last for a while. See, look at the volatility index. So the volatility kind of got sucked out of the market. Had all the volatility yesterday. Big gap down today. Did close, closer to its highs than it did its lows, but still down about 9%. Let's look at XLF. XLF breaking out above this downtrend line. So not a lot of volume behind it, but did break out, run into the 30-day moving average. Some of the financials got a little bit of a bid today. Home builders, XHB ETF broke out above the downtrend line with volume today, looking pretty good. I'll show you a couple home builders here shortly. All look good, so let's go take a look at the McClellan oscillator. As we wait for stockcharts.com to respond. All right, so still in this neutral area, over here we would, up here in this 50, 60, 70, 80 range, we'd be overbought. Down in here we're oversold, so pretty neutral right now. Take a look at the sectors. All 16 sectors we follow finish in the green today. The home construction index had the larger percent gain for the second day in a row, and it was up 4.03% today. Utility index was the weakest, but of course still closed up 1.19%. Semis did well. Oil services, software, all those are looking really good. There's the gold miners. Gold a little weak, but it's still positive. Let's go over to Chart Watch. And of course, tons of stuff breaking out today. I couldn't even begin to show you a small percentage of them, but here's just a few things. VMware, I like this breakout here of this. It's been bouncing back and forth within this little triangle, and a nice breakout today with some volume, looking good for some higher prices. Caterpillar breaking higher today. Ultratech, big breakout. We're in this one. We got in earlier this morning and it looks good. I had to set alert set for this, been stalking this one, so it looks good. Like it. ScanSource, another one we've been holding, still looks good. We've actually have been in down here in lower prices, so we took a little bit off today on this one. XEC breakout there. Option Radar brought that one to my attention. It was breaking out, so it looks good. Omnicell. Breaking out, of course, it broke out above the downtrend. A huge move for it today. Lots of buying. Had some resistance up here, prior resistance, but it taken out a little bit. So probably going to at least get back up to 1450. Probably move higher from there. Looks good. MRVL broke out above this downtrend line. It's looking also in a possibly little bit bigger triangle. Buying coming back in. I actually have this in one of my other accounts. It's not in the InvestSharp account, but looking at Netflix. Pulling back some today. We'll see where it goes. Kramer just told everybody to sell it, so I'm sure it'll get beat up a little bit worse tomorrow. So that take profits here and buy it cheaper. So we're not in it anymore. We had already taken profits on this one, but we'll be stocking it for a re-entry at some point. ACET, nice breakout above the downtrend line. Looks good if you like these little bit cheaper ones. Infosys, falling wedge, typically bullish, has broken out of its falling wedge to the upside. Not a lot of volume behind it, but it may get picked up on some scans or something. Maybe have volume tomorrow. Eagle Materials breaking out above the downtrend. I like how it's putting in this nice rounded bottom here. This is looking pretty good here for this further upside over the next possible. Might take it a couple months, but looking good for further upside. Let's see, CNI, Canadian Railroad breaking out above the downtrend line. CF, ags, still in this little triangle, hadn't really quite broken out yet. It's looking really good though. A lot of the ags looked good today. I won't go through all of them, but it looks good. AO Smith has some resistance up above here, so after it takes out this next high, about 40.24 would be your next buy point, but it looks like it's working its way to take that out. Poly 1 breaking out above these prior highs here. And it's looking good. Lots of volume coming in this one. Probably work its way back to the 14 would be the target. PACCAR been real strong, breaking higher. Did pull back some, but still looks good. DNR, Denbury Resources, been consolidating. Broke out of that today, out of its little tight consolidation. CME breaking higher, looking good. And I was shocked. Microsoft broke out today. It's been so pitiful. So it actually had a nice breakout over the downtrend line today. So not the fastest mover in the world, but I was impressed. It actually had a breakout. MasterCard breaking out above the downtrend line, looking good. Okay, so here's some home builders. I like DR Horton here. It's been of course sold off, but lots of volume here. I'm sure some of that was short covering as it broke out above this. This has been trending down here. Of course, it's got a bunch of overhead resistance. So you have to watch for that. This was Murtage. What is it? Murtage Homes. This one looks a little stronger here. I like this probably better. I like how it broke out above that. It doesn't. It's still going to have. I don't know. It's probably got some moving averages above it. Took out the 200 today. Actually, closed right above it. So that looking decent there if you're wanting to grab a home builder. Then I just put Moo up here. Breaking out above the downtrend line. Lots of volume. Definitely need to check out the ags. And coal, the ETF, breaking out of its little triangle. Lots of volume. Need to check out the coal stocks tonight. Wynn Resorts breaking out of its triangle with lots of volume today is looking good. Hess breaking higher, looks good. Schlumberger breaking higher, looks good. BHI looks good. I like this nice kind of cup and handle it's had here. This one probably should move much higher over some time. And FXI, so keep an eye on the FXI, because if you notice all through September and October how strong it was, and then beginning of November, because if this is going up, we're going up, we're pretty much moved together. So if FXI is selling off, pulling back, that I'm guessing our market will be too. That's pretty much how we've been tracking together lately, is China and us. So all right, so keep an eye on that. Let's see, let's go Oh, tomorrow on deck, we're going to have a bunch more data. Weekly jobless claims at 8:30, monthly pending home sales at 10 a.m., the weekly nat gas report at 10:30, and then we'll get the monthly chain store sales tomorrow at around noon, which will be pretty important. So we should have the Black Friday in there as well. Let's go take a look at the current market signals. We follow the point figure chart for the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P. Dow went back on a point figure buy signal today. So the new buy signal for the Dow is 11,900. Take a quick look here at the point figure of the Dow. So everything, Russell, Nasdaq, S&P, Dow, are all back on buy signals now. So we took out this prior column of X's when we printed the 11,200, which had been our resistance area. So now we're back on our buy signal. Here's your new price objective. All right, that is it for today. Thanks for watching.